You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Welcome to Norman, Oklahoma. Another capacity crowd at Loves Field, home to the #1 team in the country, the Oklahoma Sooners, taking on a top 15 Georgia team after downing the Dogs in game 1 a night ago. It was another dominant night at the ballpark for Oklahoma offensively. 4 homers by 3 different players in a run rule victory, their 32nd of the season, which leads the nation. One of those 4 homers by Kendall Wells, breaking the OU single season all-time home run record previously held by Jocelyn Alo. And with that win, the Sooners are now a half game up on Alabama in the SEC standings. Tide have a monster series beginning today against Tennessee. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher alongside Amanda Scarborough. And Amanda, all season long, we've been talking about this Oklahoma offense, and in particular, Kendall Wells. What she's done as a freshman, remarkable, and I'm not sure we'll totally be able to absorb everything she's done until the year's over.
So many records set yesterday, so much energy for this Oklahoma offense. I mean, now as a team, they have had 165. But the moment that I just think took the nation by storm was Kendall Wells being up to break the Division I team record and also break that OU single season program record. She was at 34. Last night, she hit number 35 to break the OU single season program record held by Jocelyn Alo, and that same swing was 162, breaking the team record. So just a monumental night, got this crowd involved, and there was electricity all around this ballpark in that solo home run. First pitch, first at bat, she hit it. Kendall Wells is a freshman phenom. She is a softball phenom in our sport right now.
Part of a superstar freshman class that, if they were their own team, would be top 40 in the country in home runs. That is how good they have been this year, and of course they are led by Kendall Wells. Meanwhile, on the other side, this Georgia Bulldogs offense, not to be completely overshadowed, they are top 10 in the country in a handful of categories. Jaden Goodwin riding a 12-game hit streak, features in the top 3 in the order. Georgia had 10 hits yesterday, but went just 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And now they'll take on Miley Uchenyo, the first-year transfer from Ole Miss, who, Amanda, just feels like she's gotten better and better as the season has worn along.
Yeah, she does. She has that SEC experience. She pitched in the Women's College World Series with Ole Miss last season, and she has been the Game 2 starter for OU in SEC Series play.
Kirsten Roos, first pitch swinging, flares it into the mid of Gabby Garcia, 1 down.
She's going to throw in the upper 60s. She likes to be more up in the zone with that high velocity that she throws at. She wants to chase that rise ball out of the zone, especially when she gets 2 strikes. She also has a great changeup that she can drop in there. So mixes speeds very well, and you have to respect the changeup that she has.
Jaden Goodwin, one of 5 Georgia Bulldogs batting .400 or better this year under Tony Baldwin. Never before during Baldwin's tenure as the head coach had they had more than 1. That was Sarah Mosley a few years ago. Feels like his team is better in all 3 facets of the game: hitting, defense, and pitching.
Yesterday, Matt, you mentioned that they had those 10 hits. I mean, Oklahoma had 12, so Georgia was right there in terms of the hit column, but the difference was that Oklahoma hit 4 home runs, and Georgia was lacking in any type of extra base hit yesterday.
Down on strikes goes Goodwin, 2 away.
That's why that changeup for Miley Uchenyo is so effective, because she can get hitters to chase that pitch down the zone. You're so worried about up in the rise and something that's going to come at your letters at 68 miles an hour that you see something down and think, all right, yeah, I'm going to get something down. And then she changes speeds and she's so easy to chase and go down with her.
In steps Tyler Ellison, the senior from McDonough, Georgia. Having a breakout season. Hits in 7 of her last 9 games after going 0 for 3 last night. And you mentioned all the hits that Georgia had, but lacking the extra base hit, lacking the power. Tony Baldwin told us we did a lot of good things last night, but you can't beat Oklahoma stringing together a bunch of singles.
It's just going to be about them getting on time with something to really barrel it up, to find a gap, to potentially find one, to get all the way out of here. When you face OU, you know extra base hits and slugging percentage is going to be important.
To Tyler Ellison with a cleanup hitter, Sarah Gordon, awaiting on deck.
Moutinho seems to be working at a slightly slower pace than what we saw from Audrey Lowry yesterday. Just seemed like she worked very quickly, and OU with their offense and the way Lowry was throwing yesterday just fed into their momentum.
Upstairs, ball 4. So as a hitter early in the game, that's an adjustment, no?
Yeah, it's just you still have to go at the pace of the pitcher, but you might need to just keep your rhythm a little bit more in the box and just know that she's working at a slightly slower pace. Of course, we do have the pitch clock, so there are only 20 seconds. Like, you can only go so long, which is going to be helpful for a hitter to know that when they get in the box, but just kind of slows the game down in a different pace. And you can see that action clock right here on your screen. So as a viewer, that's where you can find it to know how many more seconds that there are in that, call it action clock.
Sarah Gordon had an excellent game 1 last night, 3 for 3 with a double. Down to the count 0-2. For 15 doubles, top 5 in the SEC this year. Looking for an opportunistic at bat after the 2-out walk to Tyler Ellison. Won't get it here. On one hop, Gabby Garcia handles in a smooth first inning for Miley Moutinho. The OU Bats will come to the plate when we return.
Exclusively on ESPN, 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
Oklahoma Sooners have won 8 World Series titles, including 4 out of the last 5. Kendall Wells has been the headliner this year because of all the home runs, but frankly, you could highlight all 9 for the Oklahoma Sooners. They have been that good this year. It has been all-star team-esque as Kai Minor leads it off. Drops down a bunt, rolling, spins, and fires high to Gabby Novickus. The speed of Kai Minor has been so disruptive this year. Amanda, you saw it there, maybe forcing a quick throw from Randy Rolling. And now Kendall Wells will come to the plate with a runner aboard. Last night broke the Oklahoma single-season home run record with her 35th bomb of the year.
Matt, she's been so aggressive. When you look at how aggressive she's been, her first pitch swing percentage is at 40%. The rest of the team's average is 26%. So aggressive early.
As a pitcher, do you try to attack that?
You certainly know it. You don't want to put one too close too early in the count, knowing that she looks for something early, just like in her first at-bat, first pitch to break the record yesterday. She wants something early.
Down on the count 0-2. Kendall Wells' record-breaking swing last night was just one in a long line of record-breaking swings this year. Has already broken the NCAA single-season freshman home run record, the single-season SEC home run record. A get your phone out type of moment every time she takes in.
Well, this crowd is very educated with what's going on. They knew that yesterday's home run that she hit set a couple of different records, and it just ignited this crowd in a big way that I thought made it tough on Georgia yesterday.
1-2 gets past Marissa Miller. Minor will coast into scoring position.
When you think about it, Matt, in February, Kendall Wells, as a freshman, hit 15 home runs in 19 games. So this was something that started immediately with her fast hands, her power, the way that she just has the ability to get on time and mash pitches.
And all of a sudden, a full count that the Randy Rolling was ahead 0-2. Well, 77 RBI lead the SEC. Has a chance to do damage here in the first with a runner on. In the air, right field. Goodbye! Number 36. Sooners on top. Boy, did that get out in a hurry.
She's just an unbelievable hitter. Look at her passing information to the rest of her teammates, too. 36 home runs for Kendall Wells. That D1 record is 37. She just tied Carly Spade.
Check swing from Ella Parker, backhanded and flipped out of the glove by Randy Rolling. Athletic play by the Georgia starting pitcher. One down.
Look at her take that outside pitch. It's belt high. If it's at the knees, maybe that's a line drive to the right fielder, but it's elevated, and she's just too strong. She is not a freshman with home run power. That's all to the pull side. She can hit it out of this park in any spot. It doesn't matter. Right field, center field, left field. She has power to all fields.
Wells has now hit a home run in 31 of OU's 51 games.
Think about that too. Yesterday's home run was on the first pitch. This home run was on a full count. She got down 0-2, didn't chase, got herself back into the count, and then Rolling on too sweet over the outside corner and elevated.
Strike two to Bella Emmerling. Very capable home run hitter in her own right. Has gone yard 18 times this year.
What stings too is that error in the Kai Minor bunt. That was a really difficult play for Randy Rolling as a left-handed pitcher with Kai Minor's speed, but yesterday Wells just hit a solo home run because no one was on, but now someone was on in front of her.
Good response here from Rolling. Two quick outs, including a K of Bella Emmerling.
Well, and how about the fact, too, that Patty Gasso changing up the lineup again? Well, we're seeing her bat in the first inning. Yesterday, she batted in the 5-hole for just the 4th time all year, and today she's back in that 2 spot. Got to get more ABs today.
Put her anywhere in the lineup, give her any count. She's still one swing away from history. Outside ball one to Gabby Garcia.
And the way, too, that Gabby Garcia swung the bat yesterday was just a thing of beauty. I mean, so many different hitters can beat you in this OU lineup, and Gabby Garcia is definitely one of those hitters. 2 home runs yesterday, a double that ended the game. It was just a laser. She has such great plate coverage down and away. I mean, the first home run off of Addison Fisher was a drop ball outside, and it wasn't even really that bad of a pitch, but more so Gabby Garcia sticking to her plan, looking for a certain pitch and hitting it out of here.
6 runs batted in yesterday. Now has 64 on the year. That's good for 3rd in the SEC. The Sooners feature 5 players in the SEC in the top 10 in runs batted in, including Garcia. Pops it up left side at third base. Lindemuth cannot make the grab.
Well, Oklahoma hasn't faced a ton of left-handed pitching. In fact, you know, in any given season, you're going to face more righties than you are lefties. But of their 166 home runs that they've hit, only 21 have been off of left-handed pitchers.
Two from the lefty. Gets a strikeout on the outside corner. She sets down the side after the Kendall Wells home run. Her 36th and the team's 166th.
Unbelievable power. That was a shot to the right side, a line drive laser. And the freshman, the best freshman in the country, gets OU on top, hitting number 166 and absolutely already igniting this crowd.
Our next NWSL match is Sunday, 6 Eastern, right here on ESPN2. Angel City will host Portland from BMO Stadium in LA. Also available on ESPN Deportes as well as the app. Back in Norman, a 2-0 lead for OU. Miley Wichenio back in the circle for the Sooners. Ahead in the count 0-1 to Marissa Miller. And again, just like in game 1 last night, Sooners pitching working with a lead early thanks to a Kendall Wells home run. You mentioned, Amanda, as we left the bottom of the first inning to go to commercial break, the change in the crowd already. That is what Kendall Wells, that is what this offense has so regularly done this year. At a park in which OU is now 21-1 this season. You played both ways in this game, but in the circle, when your offense was going well and the crowd is behind you, how much more confidence does that give you to just go out and let it loose?
It just feels like you can make a mistake and it's going to be okay. And so many pitchers pitch not to make a mistake, and then it makes them tight, and it makes them actually end up making a mistake. But when you can pitch free and knowing that your offense has your back, I mean, that is the best feeling in the world, because you just don't feel like it's all on you. A pitcher already feels so much pressure. When your offense is scoring like the way that OU does, it just frees you up.
Miller lines it past a diving Bella Emmerling. First base hit of the day for Georgia.
Now, a lot of their hits were to the right side yesterday. A lot of singles we talked about. Sarah Gordon had that double, but Marissa Miller just takes an outside pitch, lets it travel deep. This is a Tony Baldwin 101, their head coach and hitting coach, letting pitches travel deep. You see there with her back leg almost, and just shoots it the other way. And Matt, Georgia has to respond. It just feels like it's a must, especially early in this game. And just because they have to do it, it doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. But as a team, you have to find a way to punch Oklahoma back. Because yesterday, once Oklahoma got rolling with the Kendall Wells home run, it was all Oklahoma the rest of the game.
It was funny. Tony Baldwin told us as he and his staff were on the field today, just sort of discussing the way last night went, he likened it to a boxing match in which his team was throwing some jabs, but every time they threw a jab, OU came with a haymaker. And his team didn't throw heavy enough punches to push OU back.
Because if you're just only hitting singles and they're hitting home runs, then it's just very difficult to catch up to them. And just didn't feel like Georgia had 10 hits because OU had all the momentum and the higher runs on the scoreboard. But Georgia put some things together. They just need that one big swing.
Novickus got beamed. And now the game-tying run is aboard in the second inning. Still nobody out, and Bailey Lindemuth will come to the plate in the 7 spot.
And Miley Wichenio and Kendall Wells are actually really good friends. Obviously, entering the team at the same time. Miley Wichenio is a sophomore, but a transfer, and Kendall Wells, being a freshman, came onto the team at the same time. And head coach Patty Gasso said that Miley Wichenio came in maybe a little uncertain, scared, quiet, but then really became great friends with Kendall Wells. And when that happened, she said everything changed in a great way. Smiled more, talked a lot, but these two, this battery, very, very good friends, which makes an even better synergy on the field with each other.
This Georgia team was just 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position last night in a 10-2 run rule defeat. Bailey Lindemuth is hitting .333 this year with runners in scoring position. As Marissa Miller at second base, Novickus at first, nobody out, down 2 in the top of the second in Norman. Cue ball. Wichenio to third. That'll be the only play, but they do get the lead runner 1 down. In steps the starting center fielder, Natalie Ray. Batting a team best .423. Entering the afternoon here in Oklahoma. Did not begin the year in the starting lineup after transferring at semester from North Georgia, but has started the last 14 games, and over that stretch has driven in 12 runs.
I got SEC Player of the Week a few weeks back and had a terrific series against Kentucky. Just a great week that week, and it's just been hard to take her out of the lineup. Plays a good defense out in the outfield and just swings the bat very well, very confidently. Hitters count here that she could really do some damage.
Two count to Ray. And we welcome those of you joining us now on ESPN2 after an offensive slugfest between Clemson and Duke. Matt Schumacher, Amanda Scarborough with you. A 2-0 lead for Oklahoma after Kendall Wells' 36th home run of the year. One shy of tying Laura Espinosa's all-time NCAA single season record at 37. Runners at the corners here for Georgia in a game 2 that just feels like they have to have. Had moments last night in game 1. A 10-2 run rule defeat at the hands of the Sooners. But they had chances in that game. Amanda left nearly a dozen runners on base, had 10 hits against Oklahoma, and yet played at just 2 runs.
Well, the issue for Georgia was that most of the 10 hits were singles. There was not a lot of punch packed into those hits, and so it was hard for them to string some big things together. Now, on the other hand, Oklahoma last night hit 4 home runs and put up a big lopsided number. But now is the time. We talked about this just, a moment ago. Oklahoma punching first. Georgia has to find a way to drive in a run here and answer back. Oklahoma has just dominated since Kendall Wells had a home run in her first at bat in the 2nd inning in yesterday's game, and Oklahoma's offense right now is just a machine. Georgia has to find a way to respond.
0-2 from Wachenio. Capacity crowd here at Loves Field, always very involved.
Especially about balls and strikes.
No doubt.
They have an opinion.
Game tying run aboard with 2 down. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strikeout of the day for Miley Wachenio. Strands 2 in the top of the 2nd. In the first inning today, Kendall Wells in her first at bat on a 3-2 pitch from Randy Rolling goes opposite field for her 36th home run of the year. Now one shy of Laura Espinosa's single season NCAA record of 37 set in 1995. Matt Schumacher, Amanda Scarborough with you. And Amanda, in back-to-back days, the first at bat of the game for Kendall Wells results in a home run.
I mean, every time she steps up to the plate, it's just you're watching greatness. These fans know that she's chasing history. I think Kendall Wells knows at this point that she's chasing history. 36 home runs, so many records already that she set. The OU single season program home run record in yesterday's first at bat. She's just very special. This entire OU offense is now at 166 team home runs, another D1 record, so they're doing it as a team. And of course, Kendall Wells, the freshman, is doing it individually too.
Fouled off the end of the bat of Lexi McDaniel. One of 3 Oklahoma freshmen this year with at least 10 home runs. What this freshman class is doing sometimes gets overshadowed by the stardom and historic run of Kendall Wells. But as a class, Amanda, this freshman group has been sensational.
63 home runs as just the freshman class.
That would be top 40 in the country if they were their own team.
You know, this is a freshman class that spent a lot of time together. They came to a lot of OU camps, and that allowed them to work with JT Gasso and Patty Gasso. JT Gasso being Patty Gasso's son and their hitting coach, and just learn the OU way and language and way that they do things offensively here. And they became a really tight-knit group too by coming to these camps, spending time together, and then they were hanging out at these camps, working with JT Gasso. There he is, one of the great hitting minds in our sport. And then they all decided to make the commitment and sign to come and play here. And this is one of the best freshman classes I've seen.
Mile-high pop-up left side of the infield. Digby puts it away, one down. Now for Georgia, 34-14, 10-9 in SEC play. They've had many chances to be higher in the SEC rankings than they are right now, about middle of the table in the penultimate weekend of SEC play. Before last night's run rule defeat, their previous 4 losses had been by 2 runs or less to SEC opponents. This is a team that has been highly competitive this year, including taking Texas to extra innings in Game 3 on Monday night. Our first baseman camera operator is Khalil has some company.
To take over his job over there. Get a little camera time. Everybody's trying to get a little camera time, you know.
That's impressive.
Nothing like standing on the trash can, I think.
How do you even see where you're standing with that mask on?
That's true.
Rio count to Abby Dayton. 1 down and the base is clear.
Abby Dayton hit for the most power in her career. It's hard to believe that when she was getting recruited to Utah, she was mainly a slapper, a speed type player. And she's always a spark player. You see that walking, firing up her dugout. She has this speed, this electricity about her, and the energy that she plays, whether she's hitting a home run or walking or laying down a drag bunt. She really ignites an energy in this OU team toward the bottom of the order, especially.
Strike one to Ailana Agbayani, the reigning Gold Glover at second base, who received the 16th AUSL Golden Ticket last night after Oklahoma's 10-2 run rule victory over Georgia in Game 1.
Yeah, such a special moment last night. The AUSL Commissioner Kim Ng came out to surprise somebody here and announced her name. And this is, I mean, they're all really special. Matt, you said this is the 16th. They all are special for their own reasons, but like, she was crying, her friends and teammates were crying with her. She had a really special moment after the game too, with her dad, Benny Agbayani, just lifting her up, kissing her on the cheek, tears in his eyes. Like, just what a day for OU softball yesterday for so many different reasons and moments.
Agbayani flares it into center. That'll drop for a one-out base hit.
Doesn't get all of this, but gets enough of it. Gets a little bit jammed up, but this just finds a hole in front of Natalie Ray. These OU players, these home runs that they've hit this season, 166, they work hard in the weight room, strength and conditioning. Those home runs come from power that's built and so much effort and intensity put in the weight room. They're very strong, no matter if you're somebody with a smaller stature like Agbayani or somebody with a bigger stature like Ken Wells.
Seven Sooners have hit double-digit home runs this year. Sydney Barker batting in the 9 spot. Went 1 for 2 last night. As a pair aboard with one down in the bottom of the second. Easy out for Kirsten Roos, 2 down.
Georgia has a very good defense, and it's vastly improved from last year. You heard that? I was like, what's happening when you hear everybody starting to cheer here? And Cassidy Pickering, they noticed that she was going to come in and pinch hit for Kai Minor, and this is how loved she is. That's sweet.
Out of the lineup over the last 3 games. Reigning All-American and getting a standing ovation right now.
Really cool. Cassidy Pickering, you mentioned an All-American, somebody we're used to seeing be an everyday starter for Oklahoma, and it's somewhat struggled in SEC play, at least to the standard that she set for herself in her freshman and sophomore years, and the hitter that she's capable of being. And these OU fans are so knowledgeable about the game. It's almost like they knew that she's kind of going through it a little bit, not starting today, didn't start yesterday, hasn't started several games in the past week. And you know what? They just wanted to give her a little bit of extra love. Like, hey, we got your back. We believe in you.
Scuffling a bit, but still one of 10 Sooners batting 400 or better overall this year. But as Patty Gasso regularly tells us, it's so darn hard to get into this lineup on a daily basis.
Well, Patty Gasso, among other head coaches in recent years, have been known just to give players a little bit of a break, sit them for a few games, let them just take some pressure off of themselves, maybe see the game in a different light. Usually when that happens, the hitter just tends to go on a bit of a streak after that.
Pickering Of course, got the All-American nod last year, was a piece of the 2024 Women's College World Series championship team. Flares it into right field, charging on Sarah Gordon. Randy Rowling gets out of the inning, stranding a pair of Sooners aboard. 2-0 OU after 2 in Norman. Tony Baldwin, in his 5th season as the head coach, took over in 2022, led the Bulldogs to the Durham Regional. Then in 2023 made his first of 3 consecutive Super Regional appearances. Doing so again in 2024 and then again last year in 2025. Taking Florida to Game 3 in Gainesville after defeating Duke on the road in another Durham Regional, and they are one of a select group to have at least 3 consecutive trips to the Super Regional.
Of course, Oklahoma is there with that crazy streak of 15 straight appearances, and Texas last year's national champs. And Georgia, I feel like, is just always a team that fights. I mean, you think about last year, the way that Georgia played. They didn't get to host a regional, but they made it to Supers, was 1 win away from making it to the World Series, and just fell short. But Georgia is always a team that shows fight in the postseason.
We had a chance to talk with Coach Baldwin pregame today, and he told us he feels like his group has the ability to make a run in the postseason. And it's part of why this series is so important. And the next one against Florida. Right now, top 16 in the RPI. As Roos sprays this into left field, a leadoff base knock to start the 3rd. Amanda, they feel like if they can steal one here this weekend, get another one next weekend, that solidifies their potential to host at least a regional.
You know, there are several teams that are going to be right there on the cusp, on the bubble, in the mix, I should say, to grab a top 16 seed, and Georgia is one of those. So RPI 15, strength of schedule 12. It would be huge if they could win a game here.
Bunt dropped down by Goodwin. She is out. Moves Roos into scoring position with 1 down.
And maybe even win 1 or 2 against Florida. You know, there's opportunities for Georgia to essentially solidify that resume and grab a top 16 national seed in order to host a regional, which that home field advantage in the postseason is so important. But they're going to need to do some work here this weekend and next weekend to solidify it.
One-0 count to Tyler Ellison, having a breakthrough season for the Bulldogs.
And Tyler Ellison is one of those players that didn't start out as an everyday starter early in her career. And Tony Baldwin had said last year that freshman year, she was probably the most improved player on the team. And sophomore year, she earned a couple of starts. And then last year was a big breakout year for Tyler Ellison and carrying that momentum into her senior year.
Batting .386 in league play. Good for top 10 in the SEC.
Just continued to put in the work. Even when she wasn't an everyday starter, she continued to put in the work, the extra work, and show up every day for her team.
1-2 from Wichenio.
I think the adjustment that Georgia's going to need to make the second time through is just dealing with that Wichenio changeup. It's something that the first time through the order, she got them to chase a little bit. So Wichenio is going to be more of a rise ball pitcher. She has an explosive rise ball up through the zone at about 68 miles an hour. But what makes her so tough to deal with when her changeup is working is that pitch, throwing it through the zone and into the dirt, getting hitters to chase.
This is an area that Georgia to this point in the series has struggled. That is capitalizing with runners in scoring position. They've already stranded 3 today. They were just 2 for 8 yesterday with runners in scoring position. The 2-2. Ellison down the left field line, tailing foul. Out of the reach of a diving Gabby Garcia.
I just feel like it's been difficult yesterday and so far today for them to really get a good barrel to an inside pitch and oftentimes to an outside pitch, getting jammed up a bit, almost letting pitches travel too deep and too much, something that Georgia does very well, but almost it's like erring too much on that side of things right now.
They are a combined 2 for 13 in the series with runners in scoring position. Full count to Tyler Ellison with Kirsten Roos at second base. Ellison representing the game-tying run here in the top of the third. You mentioned just putting in the work. Tony Baldwin feels like she's one of the great stories in collegiate softball for any young player who isn't playing. Worked while she waited, had opportunities to leave, but leaving Georgia never crossed her mind. Was determined to find a spot here, and she has! Off the wall to cut the lead in half. Roos scores from second base on an RBI single by Tyler Ellison.
That's a type of at-bat that's going to fire up Tony Baldwin, fire up the rest of the team. She took so many close pitches, worked the count, and saw just about everything that Wichenio had to offer, barreled this one up. We talk about a clean swing and a good barrel. That's what it looks like, and that's what Georgia has been missing. Somehow they're still going to end up being a single, even though that's off the wall. Georgia just can't get away from these singles, right? But that is a good sign for Georgia hitters with that at-bat that she put together and the contact that she made there.
Passes the bat to Sarah Gordon.
Talk about another leader for this Georgia team is Sarah Gordon. That was a big pickup that they got in the transfer portal a couple of years ago when after she was ACC Freshman of the Year. And when she first got to Georgia, that sophomore year was tough for her. But last year she got back on track.
Handcuffed left side, Garcia puts it away, 2 down. Speaking of senior leaders, in steps Marissa Miller. 2 hits in the series and 2 runners caught stealing. Has really elevated her play as the second-year primary starting catcher for Tony Baldwin, who himself was a catcher at the collegiate level.
She had an absolute hose of an arm yesterday, throwing out a couple of OU Steelers at second base, or base Steelers with speed. What was it? Agbayani and then also Kai Minor she threw out yesterday.
Just the 4th time all year Minor had been thrown out stealing. 1-1 to Miller, who is batting above .310 in SEC play. That is above her season average, hovering right around .278. Seeing the ball better, swinging more freely in her final ride. Lays off the 2-1.
That's a good sign and another good take by a Georgia hitter. That pitch, they were chasing that pitch in the 1st and 2nd innings.
Should she reach, the freshman Gabby Novickus awaits on deck. How many weak pop-ups have we seen induced today by Miley Wichenio? And another runner left aboard. Kendall Wells continues her pursuit of history when we return. 1 home run shy of tying Laura Espinoza with 37 home runs. To the Kendall Wells historic home run rates this season, Amanda. Her .71 home run per game average, on pace for the best in D1 history. Hitting a home run in nearly 20% of her plate appearances, while the D1 average is less than 3.5%. And every 4 at-bats and change, she is sending the ball yard.
That's why when she steps into the box, fans are locked in, their cameras are open, and she loves to be aggressive early in the count, going after that first pitch too.
Take strike 1 from Randy Rolling. In this series, she has 3 at-bats, 2 of which have resulted in home runs. She is now 1 home run shy of tying Laura Espinoza's single-season NCAA record of 37, set all the way back in 1995.
And there was an article in The Athletic that came out that was about Kendall Wells, and they interviewed Mike Candrea, which was Laura Espinosa's head coach at Arizona, about Kendall Wells, and he called her, she could be the Babe Ruth of her era. Great hands, power, eyes, and bat speed, just like Laura Espinosa.
Doing it all with a smile on her face as a freshman. Has already broken the national freshman single season home run record, the SEC single season home run record, and the OU single season home run record, doing that last night.
You know, they've had a couple of other home run queens here. I mean, this is the thing at OU. They had Lauren Chamberlain, and then, of course, Jocelyn Allo came in and broke Chamberlain's records. And now here's Kendall Wells going after all of their records.
In record time. Not even to May yet. 2-2 just off the plate from Rolling, and another 3-2 count.
Home run back in the first inning was also on a full count. That swing has so much power behind it. Even a foul ball, the fans go, ooh. They know he could swing here when they see one.
"36 of her 57 hits this year have been homers. 8th pitch of the at-bat from Rolling. Even her foul balls sound different.
The ball definitely sounds different coming off the bat of Kendall Wells. And I mean, what she's been able to do as a freshman in the best softball conference in the country, those numbers have not dipped. She has 13 home runs in SEC play alone.
Another payoff. You think back to those 2 seasons that Jocelyn Allo hit 34 homers. She reached 34 in the Women's College World Series. Wells reached 35 to break that record in April. A remarkable run this young woman has been on. 10th pitch. Goes down on strikes. What a battle by Randy Rolling. 3rd K of the day and 1 down in the 3rd.
When you go deep into an at-bat like that against the best home run hitter in the nation, it takes guts to just stick around, not make a mistake, believe in yourself. It's not easy to do. And Tony Baldwin, when he talks about Randy Rolling, he calls her, she is a lion in the circle, a fierce competitor for the Georgia Bulldogs, and especially after scoring a run to get into the Oklahoma lead, that is a big strikeout against a home run hitter.
Ella Parker, too, has the ability to go yard. Top 10 in the SEC in homers and runs batted in. Sends it opposite field. Headed out of here. It is gone. Another Sooner bomb.
The one thing that Kendall Wells has in this lineup is protection behind her. No matter, it seems like, who you put behind her, you have a home run hitter that can give her protection. So pitchers are tending to pitch to Wells. And then Wells strikes out, and now comes a professional hitter in Ella Parker, who has just been a professional since she was a freshman, now a junior, has her teammates back after that strikeout to get that run that they gave up back.
And Bella Emmerling with the exact same home run and RBI count as Ella Parker now digs in. part of a group of 4 Sooners that features in the top 10 in the SEC in homers, and a group of 5 that features in the top 10 in runs batted in. Emmerling lines into the mid of Kirsten Roos. Tonight at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific over on ABC, Game 4 between the Nuggets and the T-Wolves. Minnesota already up 2-1. Anthony Edwards, who exited Game 3 early, is expected to play in Game 4 tonight. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq tip off the coverage at 8.
You know, as Gabby Garcia steps into the box, Matt, you think about the home run hitters that come after Wells. Like, you're not just worried about one player out of 9 in this lineup. You had Parker, who now has 19, Emmerling, who has 18, and Garcia, who hit 2 last night and 21 on the year. It's just, there are no breaks as a pitcher against this lineup, and you continually feel like you have to be perfect against them, and you can't make mistakes. There's no let-ups.
You could switch the OU uniform out for a college all-stars uniform and nobody would know the difference. That is how good, how talent rich, and how consistent, Amanda, this team has been this year. Kendall Wells leading the charge for a freshman class that themselves has been historic. 3 different freshmen with 10 or more home runs on this team this year.
That's what I was going to say. 3 of the names on those lists are freshmen, so they still have 3 more years of eligibility after this, and they're just not all playing like freshmen.
Hitters count to Garcia. Everyone wants to talk offense with Patty Gasso, but she always brings it back to defense too. Her team, top 5 in the country in fielding percentage. You don't get into this lineup unless you also defend your position. Well defended there in foul territory by Kirsten Roos. Ella Parker hits the 2nd home run of the day for Oklahoma, goes opposite field, and gives the Sooners a 2-run lead again in Norman. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma at a packed Loves Field, home of the #1 Oklahoma Sooners with a 2-run lead on Georgia. We're now joined by Patty Gasso. Coach, it feels like every inning your team has a chance to hit a home run. What did you expect from this group this year versus what you're getting now in late April?
I don't know that any of us really imagined ahead of time like we would be hitting this many home runs, but they have been training hard. They've been working hard with JT, hard in the weight room. They practice hard. They talk soft. They talk hitting. They talk hitting a lot. They have a hitting language that they all understand. So I think it's a little bit different than maybe other programs, but they understand it, and it shows.
Coach, last week you had 3 losses against 3 very good teams, but what's the difference that you're seeing from your team compared to last week, this week?
Well, you make me go back and think about those 3 losses you do. So I think we learned a lot. When we take a loss, it doesn't feel good, but we always walk away with something that's going to make us better. And they know that, and they can identify it as much as I can. So the passion and energy is really important. This team thrives on that. And as long as we can maintain it and use the fans with it, we have good success.
Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you.
You know, I think the difference too for Oklahoma is scoring early. Now, we saw them a lot last week. Remember, they had that walk-off loss against Texas in game 3 of that series. They played very well on the road in Austin against the defending national champs, and then they played a midweek game in Oklahoma City against Oklahoma State, their in-week rival, and then faced a tough Arkansas team on the weekend. So it was a challenging schedule, but I think the one difference in their offense is being able to score early and put pressure on their opponent in the early innings, something that we've seen them do this weekend.
Have led early on Kendall Wells home runs in each of the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Miley Wichenio induces another weak pop-up out. This time to Ailana Agbayani, 1 down. Almost makes you wonder, Amanda, for a team that had just received the #1 team in the country moniker going into that Texas series, the OSU midweek Bedlam rivalry, then came back home against Arkansas. Did they need a little bit of a wake-up call? Diving play at third from her knees. Oh, yeah! Sydney Barker. What gem?
She made a great play yesterday at third base, and this is a prime example of why she's in the lineup. She does this all the time. Patty Gasso loves Sydney Barker's defense at the hot corner. She just has such great range. She can play shortstop. She could play outfield. You could put her anywhere, but with the injury to Nelly McEnroe-Marinas earlier on this season, which was a tough, challenging blow for Oklahoma, they were trying to figure out who's going to be our next third baseman after she got injured. They had third base tryouts with Patty Gasso at practice, and Sydney Barker won that competition and has been the everyday starting third baseman for OU.
Patty joked that when Sydney won the third base job, she told her, just focus on defense. Whatever you give us offensively, it'll be the cherry on top. I only care about your defense. Funny enough, she's given them both. Amanda has really elevated her game in all facets since getting this opportunity.
Well, and you were talking about earlier, Patty Gasso. I mean, Oklahoma is known to be a home run hitting, highly touted offense, but Patty Gasso, she loves her defense. Defense is close to her heart. It's what she herself coaches. Remember, her son, JT, coaches their offense. So she loves defense, and I'm sure she loved watching Sydney Barker make that play right there.
And if you're Miley Wichenio in the circle, you got to love that. 2 quick outs. She's thrown just 55 pitches and is now 1 out away from getting through the 4th inning. Inside ball 1 to Natalie Ray. Doesn't it just feel like there's an edge again to this Oklahoma team after they lost 3 out of 4 for the first time since 2019, just a week ago?
It was still for the course of the past 5 or 6 years, I mean, we have come to expect Oklahoma is just not a team that loses very much. You know, it's just tough to beat them. They don't beat themselves very much. They have this explosive home run power that can occur early in a game. It can happen late in the game when you think you have a chance to beat them. They're just difficult to take down, and as an opponent, they make you feel like you have to earn everything, that you have to be perfect in every single aspect of the game. Just the standard is set so high with this championship mindset that Oklahoma has had as a program.
One, two. And yet they have not been invincible this year. Their opponents have had chances. Georgia in this series has had chances. Trailing by 2 here with 2 down. And Ray, another good eye to run the count full.
And of course, going for that SEC championship in the regular season is also what they're playing for. A lot of records to be broken, and of course, we as fans and broadcasters love all of that, but they're trying to win a championship in the SEC.
Ray goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the day for Uchenyo. But Sydney Barker in the hot corner, flashing the leather.
They can hit the home runs, but they can play defense too. And Oklahoma's defense all around the field can make plays like Sydney Barker. They're doing it all, this OU team.
This is the SEC on ESPN. Back in Loves Field in Norman, Oklahoma. 2-run game, bottom of the 4th, set to start. We're joined by Georgia head coach Tony Baldwin. Coach, opportunity in this game, down 2, midway through, to punch back against Oklahoma. What is your message to your team going forward here over the next few innings?
Okay, I think we got to just manage our at-bats a little bit better. We've gotten to some count leverage where we, have the count in our favor, and then it just expanded and get soft contact. So we got to do a little bit better managing there, and we just got to capitalize on our opportunities. We had some there early, and we finally got one back there in the 3rd, and so we just got to keep fighting. She's doing a good job changing speeds, but I don't think that we're managing our at-bats real well.
Coach, you had transfers and freshmen come into this program. How have you seen your team grow since the beginning of the year to now?
Oh, I really love this group. They're a fun group. They don't make the game too heavy. They like to compete. They like to play together, and they have a lot of pride in representing Georgia. So they're everything that you want when you're coaching, and now we just want a few more runs.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Yep, thank you. Go Dogs.
To your point, Amanda, they brought in 12 new players this year. 6 freshmen, 6 through the portal, mixed in with 6 healthy returners. Remember, they lost Mua Williams, big piece to last year's team in October to a torn ACL. That also created some change for this group. But they have been very good this year, highly competitive in almost every game in SEC play.
Yeah, and I think that a big focus for Tony Baldwin was the pitching piece and being able to add a deeper pitching staff behind Randy Rolling. So last year it was Randy Rolling and Lily Backus, two left-handed pitchers for them that had similar looks when it was all said and done, and really it just was between both of them. So Lily Backus graduated. They wanted to bring in some different arms, and they've done a great job of deepening their pitching staff. And Randy Rolling has done a good job of taking a load of the innings, as their pitching staff has also struggled through injuries throughout this season.
In the air to right, coming a long way, in and out of her glove. Sarah Gordon tried to make a sliding catch in right. Off the bat of Lexi McDaniel, and could not quite keep it in.
Just didn't seem like she got a great read on that. She's playing pretty deep to start with. You see her go a little bit more lateral than up while that ball was in the air, just trying to get a good read, hit off the heel of her glove, and just ended up bouncing out. So didn't catch that ball in the best part of her glove. See if they rule that a hit or an error.
Tia Malloy will come into the game. It is ruled a hit. Malloy will pinch run for McDaniel. You mentioned Patty Gasso and her program's desire not only to break all the records, which so many people are talking about right now, but to win back-to-back SEC regular season titles. They are half a game up right now on Alabama. As Abby Dayton drops down a bunt, Rolling fires one away, and up to second goes Malloy.
On Alabama and Tennessee play this weekend in what will be a very good Saturday, Sunday, Monday series. You have the pitching of both teams. Really, I mean, Tennessee is the best ERA in the country. Alabama has hitting the ball better than they did last year, and they're pitching very well this year as well. So Carlin Pickens, of course, on that Tennessee staff, the ace, the senior, the All-American, went up against Jocelyn Brisky of Alabama, who's improved her game in the circle.
Agbayani to center. Back on it, Ray makes the catch. Malloy will tag. Throw is cut off, and the Sooners have another run 60 feet away. And now Sydney Barker will come to the plate. So much at stake in this series for both teams. The championship race for OU, the opportunity to host a regional for Georgia. Highly competitive game 2 here in the 4th with 2 down and a runner aboard.
I mean, it's really looking like the SEC regular season title is going to come down to the last weekend. We'll see what happens this weekend between Alabama and Tennessee, and OU being at the top of the standings. A&M lost a game to South Carolina last night. They won today. They're in the top 4 as well.
Barker check swing did not go around, according to first base umpire Robert Gonzalez.
Florida being in the
right
mix
there
as well. Don't forget about them.
At 16-5, they will take on Georgia in the regular season finale next weekend.
And Florida's out of conference this weekend, so it's their bye weekend, so they're not playing an SEC opponent this weekend. So Georgia will be their final opponent next weekend.
Meanwhile, 3-0 to Barker. Draws a walk on 4 pitches, and that flips the lineup over to Cassidy Pickering, who earlier today replaced Kai Minor in the outfield. And time called by Georgia as Chelsea Wilkinson, the Bulldog pitching coach, comes out to chat with Randy Rolling. Well, the second FA Cup semifinal match of the weekend is Sunday morning here on ESPN2 and, of course, the ESPN app. Chelsea taking on Leeds United at Wembley Stadium. Leeds advancing to the semifinal on PKs. Coverage begins 9:30 a.m. Eastern with a 10 a.m. kickoff. Cassidy Pickering lined out to right field in her first at bat, which came in a pinch hit opportunity back in the second inning.
When you saw Kendall Wells talking to her on deck, trying to make her laugh a little bit, make her feel at ease, going into her AB. Kendall Wells is a great personality, very calming, fun to be around.
Sort of her role on this team. Patty Gasso calls her the class clown. You could also call her the Sooner home run queen. She awaits on deck.
I think that's why you saw Chelsea Wilkinson go out, the pitching coach for Georgia, go out and talk to Randy Rolling about attacking Pickering here and how they wanted to approach this at bat, not wanting to face Wells in this inning.
Pickering pops it up behind home, giving Chase Miller, makes the catch. Now they're going to say it touched the screen. Brian Crochet, our home plate umpire, was right there. Could clearly see it graze the screen. Foul ball, 0-2.
This is a big at bat though for Randy Rolling in Georgia, just down by 2. Kendall Wells on deck, the home run hitter. You just do not want to face her in this inning with runners on. You still have to be careful with Pickering up at the plate in an 0-2 count.
Pickering has hit .434 this year with runners in scoring position. Sitting on 16 home runs. Runners at the corners, 2 down, and a 2-run lead for OU in the bottom of the 4th. Oh, Rolling just missed with the 70th pitch of the day.
That was just a little bit low, but you could tell she wanted it. This crowd got so quiet when the pitch was being delivered.
These are the moments Rolling relishes. Uber competitive, in the words of Tony Baldwin. Her 2-2. The lone returner from last year's staff. And as you alluded to earlier, Amanda, because of some of the injuries to this year's staff, has taken on even more of a load this year. Has handled it well. Full count.
And this year, her walks are down. The amount of home runs that she's given are down. She's going to need to rely on that command in this big-time payoff pitch here. Full count, Kendall Wells on deck. She's got to make a pitch here and get it out.
5th full count of the day for the Sooners against Rolling. In Pickering's first at bat, which was a pinch hit opportunity, this crowd rose to its feet. They know what she has meant to this program, a reigning All-American. That's a big moment here with runners at the corners. Right back to Rolling. And that will do it for the Sooners in the 4th. Rolling slams the door on OU, stranding 2. UCLA, which has already broken a single-season program record for home runs, hit 4 yesterday against Washington, 2 off the bat of Megan Grant. Kiki Estrada, 2 home runs against the top 15 Oregon team. And how about the run? Kenny Gajewski's OSU Cowgirls are on. They've won 15 of their last 18 games, including top 5 victories over OU and Texas. But the discussion offensively has often found its way to these two, Amanda. Megan Grant, Kendall Wells pushing each other, chasing history.
You know, Megan Grant, as you mentioned, hit 2 home runs last night. I mean, look at her batting average. A lefty senior power hitter for UCLA, hitting, not slapping, hitting almost 500. Her slugging percentage higher than Kendall Wells, and 72 RBIs. But we have 3 hitters that have hit over 30 home runs. And so Kendall Wells, you know, felt like Oklahoma was far ahead of UCLA, and Kendall Wells, same thing. But UCLA is crushing the ball recently and on OU's heels in terms of that team record. And Megan Grant right there trying to catch up with Kendall Wells.
Liner in to right, 1 down. Not to forget Jordan Woolery either. First time in Division I history, Amanda, we've had 3 separate players with at least 30 homers in the same season.
They got a freshman in Wells and 2 seniors over at UCLA with Grant and Woolery. Grant being the lefty, Woolery being the righty. I mean, Woolery entered the chat last week because she hit 7 in 1 week. So that got her up very quickly to Grant and Wells. So, I mean, at this point, there's so many games left. I mean, think about, like, Wells is in the lead right now, but anything could happen in the rest of April in the postseason.
Postseason. Expect to see both of those teams at the Women's College World Series. Obviously, a lot to be decided between now and then, but a lot of ball left to play. It is reminiscent to me, as a St. Louis native, of the 1998 Major League Baseball single-season home run race. You had McGuire and Sosa, but early in the year, Griffey was also in the mix. And every time one of those would hit a home run, everyone was checking to see what happened in the other games to see if any other homers were hit. That's what we were doing here last night. Wells hit 1, Grant one-upped her and hit 2. Just a really fun time in the sport right now.
Well, and even Jordan Woolery, she has 30 home runs, but she has them all on RBI. She has 100 RBI. She's the 5th player in D1 history to hit that 100-plus RBI mark in a single season. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Three quick outs for Wachenio, who set down 8 in a row.
Wells has 2 home runs in this series on Friday, and her first at bat, first pitch, it was home run number 35 against Georgia. And then today, a little bit different, but still first at bat, this one on a full count. Worked the count for home run number 36 and just continues to chase history.
Is now tied with Miami Redhawk Carly Spade with 36, second all-time in a single season behind only the great Laura Espinoza, who set the single season record in 1995 with 37. Wells is 1 homer away from tying that record. Digs in here to lead off the bottom of the 5th.
She loves to go after that first pitch. She is so aggressive.
Plays with a freeness that permeates throughout the rest of the program. You will regularly see her wearing an ear-to-ear grin.
And she had been asked, you know, what do you attribute your power to? And she said, it's how I use my body efficiently. I had swing and power coming into OU, but I wasn't maximizing all that my body can do. And when she steps into the box, she thinks hit strikes hard.
Such an imposing figure in the box. Makes you forget sometimes she's just a freshman.
Well, in that Laura Espinosa 1995 record where she hit 37 home runs for Arizona, she was a senior. Jocelyn Alo hit 34. She was a junior and a senior. Just incredible what Wells has been able to do as a freshman in just 50 games. Espinosa hit those 37 home runs in 72 games.
Broke the NCAA single season freshman home run record and the SEC single season home run record, both in record time. Took her just 37 games to do that. That seems like a distant memory now. Payoff. Strikeout looking. Second time today, Randy Rolling has struck out the OU home run queen.
Well, and all of her at-bats today, all 3 have been full counts. 2 strikeouts the last 2 at-bats. Randy Rolling paints a corner with a screwball. Randy Rolling striking out Kendall Wells in back-to-back ABs.
Parker pops it off the screen, out of play. Last time Rolling struck out Kendall Wells, Ella Parker came to the plate and went yard. You talked, Amanda, about the protection in the lineup behind Kendall Wells. Parker, Emmerling, Garcia, all within striking range of 20+ home runs this year. Garcia has already eclipsed that mark. 0-1, lined into right. Gordon makes the catch, 2 down.
Well, and I think that Randy Rolling is so tough to hit against because, in Tony Baldwin's words, she has a really good movement profile that creates difficult tunnels for hitters. And what that means is she can go down with her drop. She can move a ball away from a left-handed hitter with her screw. She can go up with her rise and go down too with her changeup. She has a lot of confidence in a lot of different types of pitches. She really just doesn't rely on one. And of course, coming from the left-hand side, you just, as a hitter, you don't see as many left-handed pitchers in our games as you do right-handed pitchers. So she has that going for her too. But ultimately, she's a pitcher that is going to fight. She has a ton of competitive juices and energy inside of her. She wants the ball whenever you're going to give it to her.
Will fist bump, will yell. And Tony Baldwin told us today, Amanda, she is mad as heck every time he comes out of the dugout to take the ball from her. That's who you want in the circle against #1 Oklahoma. Emmerling to center. It's over the head of Natalie Ray. Long single to extend the inning for Oklahoma.
Emberling hits the ball so hard because she's so long, she swings so hard. Because she's so long, I mean, that's not a bad pitch to me. It's right at the knees, screwball moving away from her. But because Emberling's about 6 feet tall, she has long arms. That barrel is able to connect with that pitch in a way that if you're a shorter player, it's just more difficult to do.
In steps Gabby Garcia. Back-to-back seasons with 20 home runs. Coming off a third-team All-American season as a freshman. Pops this up right side. And that will do it for the Sooners bid in the 5th. Georgia hanging tough thanks to the fight of Randy Rolling. Down 2. Looking back on a 2025 season that was historic in so many ways. Multiple times over the course of the regular season last year, we set attendance records, including over 13,000 for Stanford softball, which was played in the football stadium. That bled into the most watched Women's College World Series on record, and the momentum continued, Amanda.
Well, that was all about the college game, and then it kept going to the pro game and the AUSL game that was at Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas, with the record crowd there. And then in August, we had the most watched Little League Softball Championship game on record on ABC. And so, I mean, viewership, social engagement, attendance records. We're talking about the offensive record and explosion. The attendance and viewership records are also just exploding for the sport of softball. I mean, Matt, there's so many stars in our sport that are, especially in that senior class, pitchers like Nyjah Kennedy and Carlin Pickens and Jordy Fromm, formerly Jordy Ball. I mean, everybody is watching softball right now and just riding the momentum off of each other in every single aspect and league of our sport.
4,500 plus on hand today at Loves Field, the largest on-campus softball stadium in the country. Always a treat to be here.
Think about what this Women's College World Series could be like. We've also had great regular season viewership of ESPN PR posting those numbers and continuing to set records. I feel like this postseason, everybody better buckle up for mayhem, right? Like May 10th, selection show. It's going to be Selection Sunday. You'll see the bracket come out. But I feel like this postseason is just going to be wild, and it just seems like there's no true one team that everybody is talking about that is going to be the team everybody thinks is going to win a national championship. I think it's completely up for grabs this year.
To your point, the #1 team in the country has lost 11 times already this year. A couple of those were Oklahoma falling as the #1 team. Meanwhile, Miley Uchenio continues a sizzling last couple of innings. Has set down 9 in a row.
Change up a little bit elevated there, but still freezes Ellison. Just can't pull the trigger. Miley Uchenio is building off of the start that Audrey Lowry, the lefty, had for OU last night. She threw so well. She's been the Game 1 starter for OU, and Miley Uchenio has been the Game 2 starter, and then Game 3 has kind of been a coin flip for OU. Who will start tomorrow? We've seen Alyssa Parker, the freshman. We've seen Sydney Burzon, a senior transfer from LSU.
0-1 to Sarah Gordon. So much meaning in this series for both teams. Obviously, Oklahoma with the #1 ranking, but they are competing for an SEC regular season title, half game up on Alabama. And Georgia, hoping to host a regional in this year's postseason, has been to the Supers each of the last 3 years.
Well, I think you bring up a great point, because we did talk about Georgia and kind of how they fit into the picture. But for Oklahoma, there's some bracketology going on with D1 softball as well as Softball America. And both of those different organizations in their bracketology have Oklahoma as the overall #1 national seed. So a real shot for Oklahoma, who they're the #1 team in the rankings, but their RPI is, I think, 6, if I'm not mistaken. So have had a high number of top 25 wins. It's going to help them, looking like they're kind of in position right now to grab that overall #1 national seed.
You might be wondering who is #1 in the RPI. If Oklahoma's 6th, it is Arkansas, followed by Texas, Bama, Nebraska, and Florida. Fly ball into left. Abby Dayton makes the catch, sliding back over to left field. Kai Miner back into the game in center. Our next NWSL match is Sunday, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific, right here on ESPN2. Angel City will host Portland from BMO Stadium in LA. Also available on ESPN Deportes as well as the app. Two gone, bases clear for Marissa Miller.
Miley Uchenio has just done such a good job of mixing the ball around, being able to utilize her changeup a ton, lean on her rise ball. Her rise ball has actually been at a really good height in this game, where she's able to throw it through the strike zone and not too high, where the Georgia hitters just right away know that it's going to be a ball. And there's a curveball that just absolutely paints the outside corner. I mean, she has just been looking really confident, talking to her infielders, just a new, I don't know, aura about Miley Uchenio in this game, with how confident she's been looking in the circle today.
Flared in the left, that'll do it. Another 1-2-3 inning. Miley Uchenio has not allowed a base runner since the 3rd. Middle 6, a 3-1 lead for OU. First inning, Kendall Wells at the dish with a runner aboard. Bomb. 36th of the year to give OU a 2-0 lead. Then in the third, Ella Parker comes to the plate, also going opposite field and yard. Oklahoma on 2 home runs leads it 3-1 over the number 11 Georgia Bulldogs in game 2 of this 3-game set, with significance for multiple reasons to both teams. For Georgia, sitting right now at number 15 in the RPI, how massive would a win be over the number 1 team in the country to solidify their spot as a regional host?
You saw the opposite field home runs that you pointed out, and OU just doesn't just have the pull side power. You know, they have the most opposite field home runs in the SEC. They can hit the ball to all fields, so much power, high exit velocity.
McDaniel muscles that past the diving Kirsten Roos. Leadoff single for the starting DP.
McDaniel did not get all of this. In fact, it's well off the end of her bat, but she's strong enough to be able to muscle it out to center field and just out of the reach of Roos. I thought she had a beat on that. Roos is just such a tough player over there at second base. Big pickup for Georgia in the transfer portal, coming over from Coastal Carolina. They're going to check on her, make sure that she's okay.
And Patty Gasso will pinch run for Lexi McDaniel. Cheney Helton will come in at first base. Well, tonight at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific over on ABC. It's game 4 between the Nuggets and the T-Wolves. Wolves up 2-1 on an injury-plagued Nuggets team. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq will get you started at 8 with our tip-off coverage.
Did you see the Rockets blow it last night?
I sure did.
Oh.
Abby Dayton, mile high, drive to right, and hugging the line to make the catch, Sarah Gordon. The Lakers scored 6 points in under a minute to force overtime and win that game. LeBron, by the way, is over 41 years old, and they're relying on him without Luka Doncic in the lineup. Pretty remarkable.
The Rockets were up by 6 with 30 seconds left, and then it just went downhill from there.
I'm sorry to my partner and Houston native.
That's right.
Amanda Scarborough. I'm surprised you were even watching that instead of like a quadruple screen of softball.
Yeah, I wasn't watching.
Of course.
I would have. That would have been painful to watch, and I'm glad that I wasn't watching. But I read the headlines the next morning.
Oh, 2 to Ailana Agbayani. Received a golden ticket last night from the AUSL Commissioner Kim Ng on her senior weekend in an OU uniform.
So that AUSL draft will happen on May 4th at night on ESPN2. There's 6 AUSL teams, and she will find out, along with the other golden ticket recipients, which of the 6 teams she'll be drafted to.
Agbayani will line into a double play to end the inning. How about Randy Rolling? No runs allowed over the last 3. Gives Georgia a chance. Dogs down to their final 3 outs. Norman, top of the 7th. Georgia down to its final 3 outs, trailing by 2 in game 2 of this 3-game set with the #1 team in the country. As we welcome you back inside the booth, Matt Schumacher, Amanda Scarborough with you. And really, these 2 games have been led and ultimately won, at least when looking at game 1, in 2 totally different ways. OU, though, using the long ball to get out ahead in front in a blowout win yesterday, and now in a tight game today.
When OU is hitting the long ball, they just feel like this machine that is hard to slow down. And yesterday, Kendall Wells hit a home run in her first at bat the 2nd inning, and then she hit a home run in her first at bat the 1st inning today. So OU just being able to grab that machine offensive momentum early against Georgia. And this one, even a close game. You know, it's very different, as you mentioned, from yesterday's game when OU scored a bunch more runs, but Georgia just down by 2. It's just been difficult for them to get anything going against OU's power.
OU took game 1 10-2 in run rule fashion, had 4 homers by 3 different players, including Kendall Wells. And today have scored all 3 of their runs on 2 homers, one by Wells, the other by Ella Parker. A lot of credit, though, to Miley Wachenio, who has allowed just 3 hits to a Georgia offense that is ranked in the top 25 in multiple statistical categories. 2-1 misses upstairs to Gabby Novickas. Bottom part of the order here for Georgia. Wachenio has retired the last 11 batters.
I think that Jen Rocha, the pitching coach for Oklahoma, who missed the beginning of the season for medical reasons in February and then well into March, I think since she's been back since that LSU series, she's called pitches differently. She's mixed things up. I'm sure she gives these pitchers on the OU staff a ton of confidence with her experience and just her overall demeanor. I mean, she's one of the best pitch callers in our game, but I've even noticed that she's been calling a little bit differently than what Carly Keeney did, who was filling in for her early on in the season and just did a tremendous job with a challenge that OU faced early on this season. But having Jen Rocha back has been very helpful for this staff, and she's been changing speeds more with the staff.
What a strikeout by Wachenio after falling behind 3-1. Sets down the 12th Georgia batter in a row.
Well, almost on cue. 3-2 off-speed pitch there. Wells knew again before it was even called. That one just floated up through the zone, completely freezes Novickas. 5th strikeout for Wachenio.
1 down, bases clear. Ball 1 to Bailey Lindemuth.
A lot of fly balls, easy, lazy pop-ups and fly balls for Georgia in this game. It's just not made it very difficult on OU's offense and put pressure on them. It's not been able to make the adjustment against the pitch calling, against the way that Wachenio has been executing in this game. It's not been able to barrel up much at all. I mean, really, the only one that comes to mind is Tyler Ellison, really hitting one hard off of Wachenio in this game.
She was the last Georgia base runner to reach. That was in the 3rd. Well, as you've heard us talk about throughout the course of our show, a big one looming between #2 Alabama, #9 Tennessee. They play game 1 of the series today. Game 3 will be featured on SEC Network as part of Mic'd Up Monday, a big series finale and potential elite pitching matchup between 2 of the best in the circle.
That series will start today on SEC Plus at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then they'll be on ESPN2 tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, and then that will be the game 3 on Monday.
3-1 count to Lindemuth. You mentioned all the fly ball outs, some of the weak contact Not only has Wichenio struck out 5, she's induced 7 lazy fly balls. An excellent and very sharp outing for the sophomore, transferring in the offseason from Ole Miss. Ground ball finds the grass, and Georgia has a runner on for the first time since the 3rd.
Well, and to your point, Matt, just building off of Wichenio's day and Georgia's lack of adjustments here, 7 fly ball outs, 5 strikeouts. So that's 12 outs that have just been easy for Oklahoma's defense to make. And there's only been 19 outs total in this game. So 12 of the 19 have either been fly balls or strikeouts by Wichenio.
Brooke Smith will now pinch hit for Natalie Ray in the 8th spot. She represents the game-tying run with 1 down in the top of the 7th.
It's a big deal that Lindamuth got on in this inning, because with her getting to first base, Georgia is 1 swing away from tying up this game. And if you have 2 outs left, you have a chance. You have the chance to get right back into this series just with 2 outs left in game 2.
Quickly 0-2 to Smith, who has hits in 3 of her last 4 games. Has been excellent off the bench this year for Tony Baldwin. Down she goes on strikes. 6th strikeout of the day for Wichenio.
5 of the 6 have come on her changeup. She's been able to throw it through the zone, get Georgia hitters to chase down in the dirt, and Kendra Wells has been so good catching Miley Wichenio as well today.
Georgia down to its final out as Emily Digby stands in. Digby seeking her first hit in the series. 100th pitch of the day for Wichenio.
If Digby can find a way to get on base here, Kirsten Roos on deck with 13 home runs, leads the team in home runs. You know she'd love to get up in this inning.
And has 1 of just 4 hits today against Wichenio. And Jen Rocha is out of the dugout to chat with Wichenio after falling behind for the 3rd straight batter.
Speaking of Jen Rocha, her pitch calling and just the way that she goes out there and calmly talks to these pitchers in these big moments. You see the little smile on her face, the reassurance that you get from somebody like Jen Rocha that just makes you feel like, all right, that's all we have to do. I can do it. Just give me some advice, a little support here. She's got my back. We're all going to work together. Wells, Wichenio, and Rocha to work together to try to get back into this AB. And I think, too, it's just the timing of what we were talking about, knowing Roos is on deck at the top of the order for Georgia.
One thing that Jen Rocha told us she has found to be true about Miley Wichenio's growth this year is her composure in the circle. When things have gotten tough for Miley, she has not backed down or unraveled, but rather dug deep and found ways to get out of jams. Of course, Wichenio last year was instrumental in leading Ole Miss to the program's first ever trip to the Women's College World Series. Now shining in her first season at OU, the 2-1.
Be really patient if I'm Digby. I'm swinging only at a mistake. The pitch that I'm looking for, it has to be exactly where I want it to swing in this 3-1.
That wasn't it, in your opinion.
I don't love the 2 pitches that she swung at in this at bat. It's kind of let Wichenio off the hook when she's struggling with her command. And now look, That second strike gets this crowd back into it.
Dogs down to their final strike. Tying run at the plate. Digby in the air to center. Minor is there. And OU takes game 2 on a complete game performance by Miley Wichenio.
Miley Wichenio pitched a heck of a game that is built off of the momentum that Lowry created in the circle last night. As you see Lowry there giving her some love, the game 1 and game 2 starters, and of course the home runs for OU. 6 home runs in the past 2 games against Georgia, and they win the series.
Kendall Wells has a pair of home runs in the series. She is 1 away from tying Laura Espinosa's all-time single-season record. We will have game 3 tomorrow on ESPNU. We hope to see you there. For Amanda Scarborough, our entire crew, Matt Schumacher saying good afternoon from Norman, Oklahoma. Up next, SEC Now.